Good evening. Welcome to the launch party, take two. Sorry for our technical issues earlier on. So I'm John and welcome to allfanstv. Thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight to celebrate our launch. It really does mean a lot to us, you joining us on the channel, and we hope you love it as much as we do. So let's answer the obvious questions first. What is allfanstv? All Fans TV is an interactive sports fan channel bringing you real life fan opinions, topics from all sports, and watch alongs every single day of the week. We are not paid journalists, you've probably worked that out by now. Our opinions are real, and the channel is made by real sports fans for real sports fans. Our aim is quite simple: to give sports fans just like me and you a platform to have our opinions heard. Now, why did we start the channel? So unfortunately, like so many, 2020 was not a great year for me. However, out of all the drama came a silver lining, and that silver lining that I got to watch a lot of YouTube. I watched all the popular football fan opinion shows like AFTV, United Stand, but I also watched lots of other YouTube channels covering all different sports, UFC, football, basketball, you name it, I watched it. Unfortunately, with all these shows, they all had something in common. They all included the same voices and opinions. They all covered only one sport only and were quite limited to the amount of topics they did. And they all had another thing in common, is I didn't really feel part of the channel. If I was lucky, I would get some interaction in the free seats, but even then, as embarrassing as it sounds, mostly I'd be ignored. Or worse still, I would pay for a super chat only for the presenter to, if I'm lucky, read it out, but 9 times out of 10 not even answer to my questions. It was just a tick box. Not great at all. So for months I had this mad idea and this mad dream that if we created our own channel and made it inclusive to everyone, but also covered all sports, then I believe this would be a big appeal to a lot of people. So I got some friends involved, and voila, here we are live on YouTube, and hopefully working for those who watched the first launch show. So why would you subscribe, and why should you choose us over every other fan channel? Why should you give us your hard-earned time? So you should join it to be part of an inclusive community where you can enjoy great shows, topics, as well as daily live watch-alongs from all the different sports and main events. Not only that, but we want to give the opportunity for each and every sports fan just like yourself to actually come on the show. So if you want to have your opinion heard and come and join us, simply send an email to allfanstv@gmail.com. One of the team will get in contact with you, and you can come and join me and Rams on a watch along. You can come and join one of the shows, or you can just come on and give your opinion on your favourite sports personality or even your team. So that's the basics and somewhat boring bits covered. Luckily, that won't be the start of every show, and I appreciate you listening. And luckily for you, I will not be the only voice on All Fans TV. So as part of the team is a good friend, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome onto the show Rams. How's it going, Rams?
Yo, it's your boy, Rams in the building. What are you all saying? I'm good, thanks, John. So, I guess I'm here, finally, after a few technical issues, after some nerves, but we're here, we're giving it a go. Might make ourselves a bit forward of ourselves, but let's hope we shoot and we score. So here, without further ado, let me tell you a little bit about the content. So, on our show, we're bringing you the Premier League prediction show. That show is where we'll be previewing the games coming up in the Premier League and giving our predictions. So with that, hopefully it'll bring the banter. There'll be a lot of banter, but also it will show who's got the knowledge, who's got the football knowledge, and fingers crossed we'll incorporate some forfeits. So when we do, I definitely won't be doing them. Also, we'll bring you the Fantasy League show. That's where we incorporate a Premier League fantasy football game. We enter some teams and we start competing to be top dog. Now I know it's a little late, but hey, give it time, and this will separate the men from the boys. And guess what? Big man stepping up, taking this one easy. So if you want to join us, you can. We'll have a mini league and we'll let you get involved and join in on the bands. We'll also be having our fight camp. Now, very similar, it will be showing you the previews for the fights upcoming and also us giving our predictions. This one's a little bit harder to predict because, as you know, one punch can take your lights out. One armbar can put you out of the game. So, like I say, a little bit trickier, but hopefully, again, I'll step up and give you the right answers. What we're going to be really all about is the home of watch-alongs across as many sports as possible. Some of the sports we'll cover will be wrestling, boxing, UFC. So all you fight fans out there, want to come and join us for our next boxing or UFC watch-along, please do. Get involved, give us some bants, because the next one's going to be epic. I mean, look, how good has the card been recently? Who saw Izzy taking that L, losing to Yang? Who saw Holland being silenced? Man's a talker. Man was silenced. So, you know, get involved. Let's hear your opinions. And hopefully, we'll do it together. As well as that, me and John are massive, massive, massive football fans. So, we're going to be doing all the football watch-alongs. The Premier League, the FA Cup, the Europa League, Champions League. Not just that, the Euros. So if you want to come on, back your club, rep your stripes, have your opinion heard, then do it. We're here for you. But this show's all about you guys and your opinions, and also all about bants. I really wish we launched the show last night, because guess what? Pure bants is there, isn't it? Guna in the house. What are you saying? Over to you, John.
Wow, I can't believe you're throwing out this early in your reign that you're an Arsenal fan. I thought you might have kept that until you were back winning things, or at least back in Europe, the big Europe stage. But no, all jokes aside, big up for the little rundown of the shows. As you can see, guys, lots and lots to be getting involved in, covering lots of different shows involving forfeits, etc. So really, really good. And as I say, fair play for you for Arsenal last night. Good result in the Europa League, through to the semis. Really, really good result for you. So let's digress a little bit and let's talk a bit about Arsenal now we're on it. So how are you feeling for Europa League? Do you think you've got a chance?
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one. You know, as you find with all strikers or players that go away from a club and then come back, they can sometimes haunt you. And I think, Emery could do that to us. He's got a record for winning this cup. But
Debt with you, boys.
I think what will happen... You're a funny one, you are. But I think what will happen is Arsenal will do what Arsenal do. Make it hard, but get the result. And we'll see Man United in the final. Come on, you boys. What you got for me?
Oh, don't. That's the dream. That's the dream for even us mutual fans. The United Arsenal All English final. Pretty epic.
Yeah, totally. That's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm hoping you both go out, but I see the sentiment in it. So, obviously, your league position. Last time I looked, you was around 14th, next to Brighton. Have you moved on from there? Have you got up to the top half of the table? Where are you?
Honestly, big man John's a pure comedian, isn't he? Got them jokes popping off. No, funny man. We're about 9th. It's been a hard year.
Yeah, you're about 9th. Are you 9th or not?
No, we're 9th. Yeah, we're 9th. You've been there. Liverpool been in transition, had new managers, got to give them time. That's just where we are. I'm not one of them sort of Chelsea boys who's happy to chop and change at any given second. That's not what it's about for me. You need to give it time. You need to give the manager time to put his style in play, get his team in play. Arteta's had one window really. I don't count the winter. So I want to give him a bit more time. Let him get to the summer window and let's see what he's made of. Let's see if the boy's got the minerals. But hold on, mate. Who are you? But bear in mind, mate, you've won one Premier League in the whole of its existence. One.
Oh.
Your cup team. Remember your cup team, yeah? One hit wonder. So tell me, what do you reckon? Will you make top 4? Or Spurs, you boys, do ya?
Oh, so first of all, I'm glad you brought up we're a cup game. We are the most successful trophy-winning team in the country. All right, thank you very much for that. That includes Champions Leagues, all the lot. I think a few teams have beat us on FA Cups and stuff like that. Champions Leagues, we're top. League, we're top with United. Be all right when they franchised it into the Premier League. We haven't won it. But no, in all seriousness, I'm I can sum up Liverpool season quite easy. All Liverpool fans should be grateful. Before Klopp come, there was no chance really in the next 10, 15 years I saw us winning the league. You had all the dominant teams, City, etc., and we were miles behind it. And I'm grateful that we won the league. Not just did we win the league, we also won the Champions League and the World Super Cup. So for me to be able to say we were domestic, European and world winners was not something I ever imagined happening. Let me just say that again, that sounds so good. Domestic, European and world. Unbelievable feeling. Yeah, but unfortunately, this year we've a little bit flopped. We could use excuses like many clubs, COVID, etc. We lost Virgil van Dijk, which was massive to us. Then we lost Gomez. Then we moved our two midfielders into defence. Then the strikers weren't scoring, so we brought in Jota and he got injured. But there's also been some really good highlights. So we started with some defenders no one really knew. We've ended up with a Bolton Baresi at the back, which he's just an absolute monster, Phillips. Not the greatest technical defender and probably never will be, but old school, throws his head in the way. So I'm hoping that out of this year, which has been a disaster, you're probably right, I'm thinking we might end up with the same team that was the domestic, European and world champions, but also we might end up with a defender that cost us nothing. We can send Ozan Kabak back and it's been all right. So it's not been the best season, and I think we've got the lofty title of having the worst defence of a championship ever, which I'm not too sure if that's still on course if we have a good end of the season, but I know it's been pretty bad. So yeah, I still get to bench you though, let's be brutally honest. I still get to bench you. We won the league last year, won the Champions League the year before.
Oh, mate, big man.
I think
all I heard
there was some French manager you had in charge when you last won stuff, and then you ended up hating him anyway. But let's move on from Arsenal, because I feel like that's a show in itself. Arteta, Wenger, Klopp. The one show I'd love to do with Arsenal one day is, can we rebuild Arsenal? Can we make Arsenal great again? Oh, what a show that would be. How much imaginary fantasy league pennies would we need to make that happen? And you're right, you also brought it up, I didn't want to. The chances are, unfortunately, Arsenal's dream might end, you're right, to one of your old managers, which I should have started the show with good evening in anticipation for talking about Emery, because but yeah, we're both not having great years, but next year I agree with you, Arteta's probably going to do okay for you, and Klopp, if we can keep him, because he doesn't look overly that happy, then we will be okay. But we digress slightly, so let's get back on track. So we've now told you all a little bit about ourselves, that we're normal people, we're not paid journalists, we haven't got massive backers, it's us starting the channel. It's been a mad dream, a mad journey to get us this far. For those who watched the first watch along, you can see we're still having some technical issues. You should know by now that we're mega passionate about building an inclusive sporting community that you can be part of, either through comments but also coming on the show. And we are, as Rams put it, home of the sport fans for watch-alongs. And he gave you a little snippet into some of the shows, the predictions, the fight camps. But we got lots of other stuff stored that we're not gonna blow our load on the first show. So we've got a few bits hidden back for you. But that brings me nicely on to what's going to happen this launch weekend. So tomorrow we have two great football watch-alongs, starting midday with West Ham versus Newcastle, which obviously by now you know I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm really, really interested to find out, can West Ham continue their drive to European places? I have a bit of a soft spot for West Ham, so out of all the ones fighting for it, they're the ones I wouldn't mind taking our place if so be. Followed later on in the afternoon by an FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Man City. Now, can Chelsea stop Man City after their once again dominant performance in Europe last week? I'm not sure they are going to be stopped. And if you're a Man United fan, I'm sure you're going to be watching that game eagerly. So please join us on the watch along, because if they do beat Chelsea, they're probably odds on to win that cup. And then your triple thing that you've gone on about ever since about 15 years ago, triple this, triple that, I think your manager's part of that triple story. I think it's all going to lose its glory if your neighbours up the road go and win 4 trophies to beat your 3. So a really, really interesting day of football. In the evening, we are followed by a fighting double header. So we're starting with UFC. We have Whittaker versus Gastelum. So those that follow UFC will know that Whittaker is on an absolute tear. Won his last 4 fights. If he wins this fight, he's going to have probably a really big say into who fights Izzy the champion next. And then we've also got at the same time, we'll be doing both, so please join us for both. We've got boxing, which is YouTube sensation Jake Paul, and I say sensation loosely. He's a prat. He's fighting a guy called Ben Askren, who he's a bit of a prat as well, to be honest. You look at him, he doesn't look like a fighter, but at least he is a fighter. He's got some credentials. I'm not really too sure what to make of that fight. I like Ben Askren because I like MMA, and I appreciate he's a great wrestler. He's one of the worst boxers I've ever seen on telly. And Jake Paul is a YouTube star that I'd probably put him to sleep in seconds, I won't lie. So I'm not really holding too much hope for that. Jake Paul, if you're listening, what are you going to do about it? Probably not a lot. And you might be put to sleep by Ben Askren, which is just hilarious. So big night of fighting planned for Saturday. Really looking forward to that boxing and UFC dual watch along. So make sure you join us. And then finally on Sunday, we have the old Premier League War Hogs, where we have Arsenal versus Fulham and Man United versus Burnley. All in all, not bad for a first weekend, and hopefully it's something for everyone. So please make sure you subscribe and make sure you join us for those. Rams, before we shoot off, is there anything you would like to mention? Anything we might have missed on the launch show?
Yeah, a few things I want to mention. You said West Ham Champions League. Drop me out, fella. No way can we have that happen. No way. You said...
It might happen. It might happen.
No, that's what I'm saying. No way. Drop me out. We said Askren versus Paul. Boxing. Well, we can't call that boxing, can we? I mean, I've seen Askren. I like Askren. Funny lad. But his head is a punch bag. Which, boom, 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 boom. You know what he's like. And Jake can look good on the pads from time to time, maybe, at best. Getting a fighter. Yeah, it ain't worth. Aston's dealing with easy for me from between 5 and 7 rounds, so that's where that is for me. But as you know, I love Whittaker. My man is there. He'll take this win easy over Gastelum. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to him lining up a rematch with Izzy, do himself a bit more justice than he did in the first match. So on that, that's what I think on those. With regards to the show, just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I want to hope you subscribe, like the channel, but more importantly, I hope you come on. Let's hear your opinions. But if you do come on, nothing wishy-washy, no sitting on the fences, no catching splinters. We're not about that life. Come and say what you got to say, own it, and we'll have banter with it. We'll enjoy it. So John, I'll leave it to you to sign off, mate.
Brilliant, yeah. As I say, couldn't have put it better ourselves. Really enjoyed it, guys. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and also bearing with us while we go through things like teething problems and getting used to speaking into a camera. As we said at the beginning, we're just normal people, so we really appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe, and also follow us on all socials. But before I do sign off, just a quick shout out to our sponsors who have supported us when this was just a dream, but they help bring it to reality, and we really are eternally grateful. So big up yourself to following sponsors: Deadman Gray, who are an award-winning property auctioneers. So if you are buying or selling a property, Deadman Gray are the company for you. Then we've got Work and Wear Direct. Now these are premium distributors of workwear, safety clothing and footwear with over 20 years experience. So if you need some bits and bobs for work, some safety gear, they're the company for you. And then last but not least, big up yourself, New Line Essex, family run business with over 22 years experience in the cleaning and hygiene suppliers. So all their links to their websites and a little bit of information on their companies are all in the video description. Do us a favour, check them out. They've been there for All Fans TV. It's been an absolute pleasure. As I say, if you get a chance, please follow us on the socials. Please like and subscribe. Rams, it's been an absolute pleasure. And with that, I'm John, and I'm gone.